right, it is loud in here because the ventilation is on, and that's because I'm gonna use some solvents. Now, mostly when I'm doing videos, I'm doing them from home, and I don't use solvents in my home setting, but I'm in a studio, so I got my gloves on, got the ventilation going, and I'm gonna remove the drawing material with linking wash. At home, I'd be doing my best with vegetable oil, but the solvent does prove to be a much more effective tool. I'm trying to get as much of the previous ink off of there as I can. Okay. Next, let's buff in a thin layer of asphaltum. Also not something I use at home. I use printing ink as a replacement. Now I'm going to use some wet rags to wash the surface of the stone. Finally, time to start sponging and rolling some ink on there. There is a lot more sponging and rolling happening than is shown in this video, especially for the first print where you're starting from zero and building up that layer of ink on top of the stone. My ink is a mix of graphic chemical crayon black and Charbonnel roll-up black. Time for a test print. This press has a built-in attached flexible tympan. It's always got a very thick coating of grease on the back, but as long as the grease doesn't migrate to the front, it's not really a problem. It is a motorized press, and in its current setup, you cannot turn it manually. I'm taking a moment to check out the newsprint proof, assess if I need to add more ink to the slab, how many passes I should do before I move on to the next one. Here's the second proof on newsprint. The lighting makes it really difficult to tell, but I have decided that the proof looks dark enough to move on to the additioning paper, for which I have chosen a thin Gampi. At this point, it becomes really important to dry the stone thoroughly before placing my paper down. Even though this is a paper I work with a lot, some days it can prove to be a challenge. Because it's so lightweight, when you're working with slightly larger pieces, it is hard to get it to go in the correct spot. That was stressful. And this is by far the best part of the process. I love pulling off a print on Gampi. It is so satisfying. So here's what the prints look like. I only printed 6 good copies, and it will most likely need another layer or 2, so that number might get a little smaller for the final edition. Either way, it was a great day in the studio, and I hope you enjoyed the video.